I love you. And I really believe that unification is the key. As we unify together as individuals, as we unify together as a team, as we unify together and realize that every single person is a child of God, no matter what color that they are, no matter what race anybody is, every single person is indeed a child of God. And I'm super grateful to have this opportunity this Sunday to host the Chairman Mentorship Call. We're live on Facebook, Zoom, and Instagram. I want to thank you guys for being here. I've got a great subject to cover with you guys today. Get ready to put yourself in a position to take notes. By the way, if you want to get a copy of the notes that I cover, all you have to do is go to Brandon Boyd Official on Instagram, follow me, and put send notes, and I'll make sure and get those to you guys. You should be able to see my screen. If you're on Instagram, you won't be able to see it. However, you guys will get a copy of these notes. So what I'd like to talk about on this particular session of the Chairman Mentorship Call, because I've been here now for nearly 5 years. I've been trading for 5.5 years. But one of the things that I've been able to do in my career is I've been able to build large organizations. In fact, at this point in my career, I've had 1.1 million customers within my organization. I have personally enrolled over 5,000 people. Think about that. Some people will never meet 5,000 people in their life. I've personally enrolled 5,000. Now, out of those 5,000, I've been able to find and attract big leaders to my organization. Now, in the beginning, like some of you, the only people that I was able to attract was just that circle of influence, the family, the friends, the coworkers, and there's no problem with that. But at some point, you have to get yourself in a position that if you really want to take things to the next level, you need to have some significant people into your organization. Now, here's the comforting thing that you guys need to know is that will happen over a period of time. It happens through your thoughts, it happens through your feelings, and it happens through pursuit, because success is not to be attracted by pursuit. It is attracted by the person that you become. And we're going to talk about that a little bit today, how to attract big leaders to your organization and how to do it effectively. Now, if you guys and gals want to have a big leader into your organization, I want you to put big leader in the chat. Put it in the chat, put it in the comments, big leader. Because one of the things that I tell people is if you want to have an organization such as an Alex Morton, a David Imonitie, a Jason Brown, a Matt Rosa, a Bryce Thompson, at some point, you either need to attract those people or build them up. If you want to get to those levels, those are the kinds of things that need to happen. And I'm going to give you some strategies as to how you can actually do this. And it's going to happen over a period of time. Strategy number one, write this down. Number one, you got to see if people are open. When you are talking to people who are big either in their industry or they're big inside of this industry, the first thing that you have to do is see if they're open. Now, the thing is a lot of times you're not even going to know for sure if somebody is looking or not. But I can tell you, there are some leaders right now in this very industry that we are in. They are open. They are looking, but they are waiting for that right opportunity for someone to contact them and see if this is something that would be a good fit for them. So one of the things that I tell people is if you really want to build a big organization, the best thing that you need to do with individuals, especially with leaders, is to first see if they're open, because some people are comfortable where they are at. They're not open to something else. They love their company. They love the vision and the leadership. So number one is you got to see if they're open. Number two, write this down. This one is huge. Don't be addicted to the outcome. Do not be addicted to the outcome if a person decides that you're contacted, decides not to join. Let me tell you, and I'm not going to give this person's name, but 3 years ago, I contacted a big fish. This guy was doing several million. Now listen to this. He had several million group volume that was in his current organization. Okay, so he was already making phenomenal money. But here's what happened. Over the course of about 3 to 3.5 years, all I did was keep contact with him. I was not addicted to the outcome of whether he got started with us or not. Now listen to this. Because I kept contact, because I kept friendship with this person that goes beyond business. It's about that friendship. It's about networking. It's about actually caring about somebody else's life. A few years ago, I actually reached out to him and I said, hey, man, I just want to see how your family's doing. It's nothing to do with business. Guys, I'm giving you some keys here of how you keep contact with these people. This was nothing about business. I said, how's your family doing? How is life going for you? Now, listen, because of that contact that had nothing to do with business, that individual said, I think it's time for us to sit down. We sat down, and that individual is with us today. Several years ago, not interested, not the right time. Several years goes by, we talk, we sit down, this person's in our company, and they already have massive things happening. So just know, you don't ever need to be addicted to the outcome. You cannot control the outcome of your rank, but you can control your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. Write that down. I cannot control the results of my rank. However, I can control my thoughts, feelings, and actions. That, my friends, right there is the key, because those things will control the results that you have. Here's another thing. Never get tied up with one individual. I see some people who literally work for a month or several months at a time, thinking it's almost like they just sit back and they chill, saying, man, I'm going Chairman 750 when this guy comes in. Well, you got to remember, that's just one leg of your business. Some of these people are called big fish. There's someone in another company that's already making a lot of money. And so here's what I tell people to do. Don't get tied up, because they may not come on board the majority of the time. So if that's the key, what do you do in the meantime? You stay in phase one. You stay in phase one, which is you say less to more people while you are talking to a big fish. Let me tell you why. When that big leader sees that things are happening in your company and in your business, they are now going to become more attracted to what it is that you do. Okay. And so now let's say that 6 months goes by. They are now attracted to what it is that you are doing. So you're staying in phase one, whereas you're staying at the top of the leaderboard, enrolling new customers. Listen to this, guys. Last week, I'm working on a big leader right now. So I'm working on a big fish right now. I know that this individual is going to come on board. I cannot give his name yet, but it's going to happen between now and next month. When that happens, my rank is going to, it's like straight to Chairman 250. That's what's going to happen. However, in the meantime, I stay in phase one. I do not relax. Okay. I don't use excuses for what the time is. This is the time to grind. All right. This is where champions are made. This is where millionaires are created. So guess what I did last week? I personally enrolled in a period of 48 hours, 7 people. I enrolled 7 more people just last week alone. And I've already enrolled 767 people, my friends. I continue to stay in phase one, not relying on that one big home run. You know why? Because that big home run may not happen. Now, I may say in my mind that it's done, but just in case it's not done, I'm going to stay in phase one, because I don't want to miss out on the next opportunity for an Alex Morton or an Austin Godsey or a Jason Brown or any of the other phenomenal leaders that we have inside of this company. Because guess what? Out of those 6 or 7 people that I enrolled last week in a period of 48 hours, listen to this. From one of those individuals, guess what? They have the next Alex Morton. They have the next Jewel Tankard. They have the next China Bethley. They have the next Lawrence Young. Okay, think about that. That person, out of those 6 or 7, they've got that next person that may be down 3 generations. Do you see what I'm saying? So you're just working on that one big fish, but you got to realize there's a lot of big fish out there. So you don't just sit back and cross your arms and say, I'm waiting. You don't want to be waiting. You want to continue to grow, because you want to keep that momentum going, the snowball effect. That's what you want to do. If you want a strong leader, here's my recommendation. Become one. What are the traits of a strong leader? You guys can read this in John C. Maxwell. Write this down, Developing the Leader Within You. Write that book down. Developing the Leader Within You. I've read it many, many, many times. I think you can buy it off Amazon for like $2. You probably just download it for free. Attend events. That's a trait. Attend all the events you can. A strong leader, what do? They invest in their business. That means they invest time and money. They're always doing personal development. Guys, today already, since it's Sunday, and this is typically a little bit more of my day where I pull back, spend time with my family, I focus on church and stuff like that. I've already done nearly 4 hours of spiritual personal development. Think about that. Today, nearly 4 hours of spiritual personal development. These are the traits of strong leaders. This is what leaders do. They are constantly feeding their mind with good information. What does the good book say? Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word. Faith comes by hearing. We need to be listening to those audios. If you want a strong leader, you got to become one. Okay, you got to become one yourself. Become an attractive person that a strong leader wants to do business with. You want to focus on, with our company, the leadership of the company, so the executive side and the field side. You want to focus on how we have this amazing culture, because there's plenty of companies out there who have created this really incredible culture. So one company ago that I was a part of, we had an amazing culture, and that's why we grew to about $14 million a month in the time that I was there, is because we had this incredible culture that we've actually been able to duplicate inside of this company. You want to focus on the education. You want to focus on the incredible compensation. I mean, let's be real. There's very few companies out there in this industry. And I always say very few because you can't ever say you're the best as far as compensation payout, but very few that would ever be able to compete with what we've put together with as many chairmen and chairwomen that we've been able to create inside this company. And then you want to focus on what the product or service is actually doing for the people. This is one of the greatest things that I've seen. One of my leaders, I hope he's on here, Michael Angel Martin. Okay, guys, he is the #1 enroller of all time inside this company. Thank goodness he's on my team. We are business partners and we are friends. And one of the things that he does, and you guys need to give him a shout out, hopefully he's on here, is Michael does a phenomenal job, okay, of being able to show what our services are doing for other people in a compliant way. All right. So if he's not on here and you guys know Michael Angel Martin, let him know that I said this about him, because it's very important to understand Michael does one of the best of taking case studies of people that he is working with, showing what our service is doing for those people, because people don't really care necessarily about all the details of what all of our stuff does, as much as they do care about what it is that it will do for them in their life. Okay. All right. So focus on that. Have a leader on your team help you. Some of you are brand new. You're new to the company. Maybe you're new to the industry. Here's one of the greatest things I can teach you guys. One of the best nuggets that I can give you guys today is have a leader on your team help you. Because in the beginning, you want to have what's called leverage. You want to have what's called credibility. You want to have a leader who's on your team that's already having success with trading. They're already having success building the affiliate side of this business. You want to have someone that's got that credibility that can answer the questions. You want to leverage their success. Now, let me tell you that I want to expand on this for you, or expound on it. The reason is because you're going to get certain people that have questions that frankly you cannot answer yet, such as, what rank are you? How's the product doing for you? Are you making money trading yet? Have you gotten in shape yet? You've been at the gym for a week, right? So when you actually have a leader who is having the success, you can actually use them together to actually leverage and help bring those people on. So one of the best things that people do with myself on our team is that they will hit me up and say, hey, can you jump on a Zoom call? We have a person who's interested. They've seen a webinar. They've watched a video. They've just got a few questions and I can't seem to get them over the hump. of actually joining the company. So what do? They put me on, they edify me as their, not just their sponsor, but as their business partner. And I answer all the questions with authority and credibility. And that person 9 out of 10 times ends up deciding to come on board. If that person did it by themselves, the likelihood would go down significantly. Why? Because they've not had success yet. So remember that. One of the best ways that you guys can build a big organization and bring on phenomenal leaders is to bring on another leader to help bring on board that leader. Let me give an example. If I were to bring on a big leader from another company, guess what I would do? I'd have either a Chris Terry, I'd have an Alex Morton, I would have a David Immonetier, Yvonne Tapia, or someone like that could get on the phone, because it's not a matter of can Brandon do it by himself. It's a matter of what can we do to duplicate? What can we do to add some extra credibility to our message and why they should come on board with this company? That's one of the major keys. Now, here's one of the last things I want to cover with you guys. And I only cover a couple keys when I do these trainings because I don't want it to be too overwhelming to you to the point where you don't even take action. Okay? Become a leader that others would want to do business with, period. I want to talk about this just for a second. If you want to attract other people to do business with you, I want you to focus on becoming the type of individual that other people would do business with. Think about it for just a second. When you look at yourself, when you look at your social media, why would a person, now ask yourself this question, why would a person want to do business with me that is a big leader when they look at my Instagram, which is really my billboard, which is Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and so forth? Think about that. Ask yourself the question, if you were looking into your business, would you join you? Would you partner with you? Would you say, that's the kind of person that I want to do business with? So I'm always going to put myself in the position of making sure that I've got good social media, that I've got good content, that I put myself out there in a way that is professional, that people would say, hey, especially with a business like this where we're investing, we're trading, if I'm going to put money out there, I want to make sure that this is with an individual that I can say, you know what, if I'm going to put money out there, this person is someone that looks like the type of person that I want to invest time and money with. Okay, that's very important, because guess what? If you don't do that, they are also going to end up joining somebody else's team. And I'm going to repeat that. They are also going to end up joining somebody else's team. That is the reality, my friends. They're going to find that other person that they say, that's the kind of person that I want to do business with. Let's be real. Let's be real. If indeed that we look back to David Immonetier from 10 years ago, who 10 years ago, he was phenomenal. He wasn't back then the person that he is today as far as his revenues. But guess what? He was becoming the David Immonetier of today 10 years ago. Jason Brown 5 years ago was not who he is today. However, he was becoming the person that you see today. Same with Matt Rosa. Same with Yvonne Tapia, who was living on a couch. Same with many others that I could go over. They were becoming the type of person that they are now today. Success is a journey. It is not a destination. We are not done. Alex Morton, 10 years ago, when I first heard of him, was not who he is today. However, at that time, he was being mentored by Bob Proctor. Look who Alex Morton is today. Look at his income level today. Look at how many people he is influencing today. Now, guys, if you want to get my notes of what I've covered, I want you to go on Instagram, follow Brandon Boyd Official, and send a message that says send notes. I want to give you guys my notes, but I also want to give you my actual recording of this, because I believe this. I believe the following, okay? I believe the following, and I go ahead and take this off the screen share so that you guys can see here. Here's what I believe. What I believe is that if you want to attract the Michael Jordans of life, the LeBron James, the Kobe Bryant, and all these amazing athletes, here's what I believe. If you want to attract those kinds of people, you have to start the process of becoming that kind of person. See, I was not who I am today 10 to 20 years ago, but every day, every week, and every month, I was becoming that person. Every day, every week, and every month, I was becoming that person. I wanted to eventually get to the point where I could get on stage, and it happened. The first meeting I ever did, guys, just so you know, first meeting I ever did, nobody showed up. It was all empty chairs. 7 people were supposed to come and nobody showed up. That's the reality. That's what happened to me. But I knew that if I kept showing up, eventually it'd pay off. If I kept showing up, eventually the big leader would come. If I kept showing up, a Michelangelo Martin would enter my business. If I kept showing up, a Simon Brooks would enter my business. If I kept showing up, a Joseph Gomez would show up to my business. If I kept showing up, a Brian Robert would enter my business. If I kept showing up, an Austin Godsey and a Jason Brown would be my personal sponsor. I kept showing up and the big leaders came. I kept showing up and the volume started to climb. I kept showing up, and because of that, I've made a significant amount of money in this industry. I kept showing up to our Go Live trading sessions, even though I was failing. And because of that, I've had significant success trading because I kept showing up and I never gave up. And guys, that is my message for you today. If you like the message, put an amen inside the chat box. Follow me at Brandon Boyd Official. Click on that and put send notes. I'm going to give you guys a copy of my PowerPoint slides. I'm also going to give you a recording of this very presentation. I hope that it is helpful to you, and I hope and know over the next 6 months, you guys are going to attract, if you have the desire, the big leader or leaders that you are looking for to expand your business. This 2020, regardless of what's gone on around us, will be the biggest year in business that you've ever had in your life. And with that, guys, I'm going to leave that with you. Have an absolutely amazing Sunday. Again, I love you guys. We are unified as people. Let's unify. Let's set the example that we want to see in the world, because the reality is this: if you want to see the change, you got to be the change. If you want to see the change, be the change that you want to see in the world. Guys, have a great Sunday. We'll talk to you soon, and I will see you at the top. Thanks, everyone.